Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. As we're moving into the holiday seasons, I want to wish a Merry Christmas in advance and a happy holiday. If you don't celebrate Christmas, this is a time where you can reflect and spend time with your family. And in fact, the call today, it's all about plan, do, and review. And we want to share with you what Tammy and I do, and hoping that you will follow in our footsteps so you can have better results or similar results than what we're having. As we begin here, I'd like to welcome Bakshir, always first in line, my friend. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. From Bangladesh, we have Myra Paul, also right after Bakshir. You guys are right on target. You know, I challenge you guys on 2026. Come in early, folks. Come in early instead of coming in like 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Always better to be prepared.
Usually, actually, number 3, welcome. Great to see you here from Texas. Myra Paul from Ottawa and Bakshir from Bangladesh. I think I didn't mention that earlier. We have Bruce here from Yulee, Florida. Hey, we're going to be in your neck of the woods in about a week and a half or so.
I can't wait. I love my office in Florida.
Yeah. And the MacLeod family, welcome from the Netherlands. This is a place that I know I keep saying this, but this is a place we really, really want to go and visit. It's absolutely beautiful from what we've seen on TV anyway. Let's see here. Welcome from Cape Town, South Africa. Great to see you here. Benjamin, great to see you from Accra, Ghana. We have here Mike from California. We have Humsey Boy. Welcome. Great to see you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have here Richard from Shiliak, BC. Hey, how are you? We have Michelle from Ohio. We have here GoPro with Gino. Great to see you here. From Kansas City. Great to see you here. We have Jacob from Bandutane Bono, regional of Ghana. That's an area we haven't went actually.
Yeah.
It's not an area we're familiar with. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. We have Guylaine Dupont de Québec. Bienvenue. Great to see you here. Let's see. Hey, bonjour. En fait, on a voyons from Québec. Alain. Voyons, mon Dieu, Tammy. Opportunité digitale. Sylvain, mon Dieu, Sylvain. Okay. Bienvenue de Québec. Great to see you here. We have Richard. We have Alice from Texas. Great to see you here. Sylvie de Québec. Bienvenue. And all of you that are joining us here, folks, as the call is taking place, we want to welcome you. The call today, it's all about reset, refocus, and build stronger 2026. So tell me anything you want to add before I begin.
You said Sylvain, it's Stéphane. Awesome to see you here.
I'm so sorry, Stéphane.
We're really Chris and I get so excited this time of year because we spend a lot of time towards the end of the year reflecting on the great things we've done in 2025 and the things we want to improve on as we grow into 2026 and we get so pumped about what's coming for the new year. And so we're going to kind of share with you today the things that we've done over many, many years that has helped us get the results that we want going into each year. So today we're asking you to have a pen and paper, or if you're taking notes on your computer or on your phone, and you've got the recording, which is great because you got that to lean on. And we recommend to sit back and really take the time to do this because that's going to be your driving force going into 2026.
I agree, Tammy. And folks, today's session, it's not about motivation. It's about maturity. Mm-hmm. So the talking point that we want to focus on is as we close out 2025, this training is not about chasing the new goals, folks. It's about getting honest, getting clear, and getting intentional. Okay, so we'll expand as we move forward here. Most people repeat the same year because they never plan, they never do, and they never review. And this is the difference between the very successful people in our world today and the rest of us, okay? Is the successful people, they plan, then they will execute, but then they go back and review what they've executed and say what worked, what didn't work. Because if nothing changes, folks, in 2026, it will look exactly like 2025, okay? Just with a new calendar. So that's what we're doing this session here. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah, so The goal is to focus on what you desire, of course, and the goal is also to reflect. So yeah, you can go into it, Chris.
Yeah. So the thing is, we don't want to just plan forward. We want to also review backwards, see what
Hmm.
we've done, what worked, what didn't work, what can we gain from the different activities that we've done, and the fact is, sometimes it feels uncomfortable to go back and start reviewing some of the things that maybe we didn't like so much, or maybe you haven't done anything right. I'm just being straight and honest here. Growth starts with truth, and this is what's important, folks. Tammy and I are very honest, and we're not always happy with what we say to each other, or what we're planning, but it's necessary, because the fact is, if you're honest about what's really going on, that's when you can really put the cards on the table and plan for where you want to go and how far you want to go. Because one thing I can tell you, folks, for me, it's all about clarity.
Yeah.
When I see things clearly, I feel so confident, because I'm very clear. I can see the path, I see what I need to do, and then I just need to repeat the process. And we'll talk about the consistency in a moment here. Okay, so that's the point I wanted to share with you here. Anything you want to add, Tammy, as we move on to part one?
No, it's yeah, I mean, you explained it very, very well. And so it's important to follow through with this training and take notes, you guys, like I said, because that's going to help you. Because the more clear you are, like Chris said, the more confident you become. But I find that your days go so quick, and you accomplish so much more when you know where you're going. So yeah, I'm excited to get this started.
Yeah, and Tammy and I really appreciate, by the way, your feedback. Some of you come up
Mhm.
with some brilliant messages that comes through as we're sharing, and please feel free to share. Sometimes, folks, we feel that our voices are not important simply because maybe nobody has ever told you that you have a great idea, or that you have skills or talent, or whatever the situation may be. And the fact is, by not voicing your thoughts, you could deprive the world from something that could be very impactful. I'm telling you, folks. I know if you saw some of the movies, the butterfly effect. Even stepping on a snail that you're not even aware that you're stepping on could change the world completely. What does that mean? Is the most insignificant little thing that you may not realize could actually have an impact worldwide. I truly believe in that. And my point in bringing this up here is, the key message is, you can't build confidence if you ignore your wins. Many of you have reached the bronze level, have reached the copper level. But one thing that's important is to have your leadership shine by exposing, in a positive sense of the word, when I mean exposing, what your downline is doing. God Backup has reports in a back office that will clearly state who moved up from one state to another. And very, very few of us are doing that. And what you need to understand is recognition, folks. Babies cry for it. I think we can all relate to that. Adults die for it. And it's also right tied into our compensation plan. Because the more your team evolve, the more you evolve. It's a chain reaction. So you need to acknowledge the wins and not ignore them. And the system helps you do that. But you do need to be aware of this. And we're sharing this with you because sometimes we forget how important and significant the little things are, in thinking that it doesn't matter, because maybe for you it doesn't matter, but for someone else it might make a world of difference. So please do take that seriously. Don't ignore the wins. And I'm using the example of your rank with God Backup, but there's so many things. Like maybe you sponsor your very first person, and before that, you never were able to sponsor anybody in a network marketing business. Now suddenly, whoop, you're able to do that. Or so many other aspects where you finally got someone to click on your link because you shared your affiliate link, your capture page. So sometimes words don't come easy, right? Your capture page, which collects name and email, and they end up in your pre-enrollee. These are all little wins that you need to acknowledge. Because remember, what you think about expand, folks. You don't have to believe me. Just do it. Acknowledge the small wins. And if you do that, you will find that not only your life will get better, but you'll impact people around you. So that's one thing I wanted to say. And the thing is, most people skip this step, and that's the challenge here. They focus only on what's going wrong. Why? Because that's what we hear in the news. That's what we hear when we grow up. That's what we hear in school when we didn't go so well. But when you do well, it's expected. That's a bit of a problem in a society as we grow up. We need to focus attention on our wins and not so. You need to focus also on what didn't go well, what went wrong. But let's shift the percentage. Instead of having 90% of what didn't go wrong and 10% of what went well, let's shift that. Let's create a balance. And that skill will drive momentum and belief. I'm not kidding. Remember, you tend to attract what you think about. Really important. One thing that you can do to kind of measure that is what action produced income for you that you did in 2025. Think about it. What are the things that you did that produced an income? What habits created consistency for you, but you didn't follow through on that? But maybe for a period of a month or 2 or 3, or maybe even half the year, you were focused. What happened? What are the habits that you created that you can revisit and go back there? What system or routine worked for you? Think about this. And one of the reasons we do these training calls every Saturday, and don't be fooled, folks, we put a lot of work into all of this to plan these trainings for you. We want to pay it forward. We want the company to do well. We want you to do well. So the systems that are in place that we teach, and they're all part of the training, they're there, making sure that your emails are being sent on a regular basis, that you constantly are aware of who's doing what in your business, who's moving forward, who's not, and what can you do to improve on that. So the system is critical. What relationship strengthens your business, right? So there's one thing that Tammy and I can relay on is we have relationship in our business in network marketing that are friends for life, folks. Once upon a time, we didn't know each other at all whatsoever. We didn't know of our existence. Now we are friends for life. There's a lot more than a compensation plan here, folks. A whole lot more. But these are things that strengthens your business, right? What did you feel most focused and confident in all the activities that you've done? And go back and repeat those. So one thing that, for example, I'm really focusing on is right now it's not showing because I'm working on a system that will attract people coming our way, that will be completely automated. I've done this in the past. Now we got backup. I've done this in the past and it has worked well for me. But now we're moving this to a whole new level. I'm telling you, 2026 is going to be absolutely amazing. But the thing is, you got to do activities that moves the needle, and that is more and more exposures. And here's the really interesting thing that's coming for you in 2026. Joel, you probably, if you have not been living under a rock, you probably have seen Joel posting on his social media, his Instagram, his TikTok, and his Facebook, and maybe others, but these are the main 3. And he's putting something together that you will have to choose to pick some of the videos that he's done that will be available in a system that will completely be automated for you, that will point to your capture lead page. So if you're a little bit shy in front of the camera and everything else, you can use all the things that are automated for you, made for you. And those of you that are a bit more confident, you can actually add your own videos to all of this. So there's so many things that are coming here, folks. But what's very important is always remember that success leaves clues. If you see someone that's moving up in rank, having success, instead of saying, well, these guys are this or these guys are that or whatever excuse you may want to justify to feel better on the fact that they're getting it and you're not. And again, folks, I hope you're allowing me to be honest here because we want to help you. Is focus on the things that they do, because success leaves clues, especially your own. If you've done something successful, pay attention to that and repeat that and duplicate that. So back to you, Tammy.
Yeah, Chris and I always follow people who are successful and we learn constantly on what others are doing that's working, and we create little tiny shifts here and there throughout the year, and then we plan to take it to another level in 2026. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're up to some big things. So we're in that. In December we always do this. We're in that state of where we're going next year. And yeah, so you'll see. I'm not even going to say it because you're going to see. Okay, so let part two. So what we're going to talk about now, and I want you to write stuff down, you guys. What didn't work for you in 2025, and why? And the key is, this is all about growing. Okay, and you need to be honest with yourself. Okay, without emotion. You don't want to beat yourself up. Okay, because that's not why I'm doing this part. Is because I want you to really see where things are, so that we can create those little shifts or big shifts, however way you want to do it. It's totally up to you in 2026. Some of you are going to go, oh my gosh, this training just really put me on the plan, and I'm going all in. And some of you are going to steadily grow in 2026. But either way, what's important is growth. Okay, so we have to really look at what didn't work for us and why it didn't work. And maybe people are is because they're not showing up. Okay, because a lot of the time, there's some really good trainings and assignments to do, and if you're not showing up at the training and you're not doing the assignments, that could be why it didn't work. That might be something you want to write down. I don't know, because each one of you have your own thing. Okay, but reflect, you guys. You got to reflect on this, because Chris and I are always very honest where we're at, and we always know we need to improve, because it's part of growing, right? And so it's not about self-criticism at all, you guys. We just sit back and go, okay, well, this needs to shift a little bit more. We need to put a little bit more energy into this part, which we want to have a higher income goal, or whatever it is, right? In personal growing and skill building and all of that stuff. Because it's about self-awareness, not self-criticism. Okay. And so let's be honest. Okay. What goals didn't get finished for you in 2025? You may have set a goal on hitting a certain rank or a certain income. Okay. And then life got in the way, and maybe you didn't show up at the training so much. And then, you're showing up today because you like the title, and you want to reflect, and you want to get to another level because things just didn't work. Don't beat yourself up. So you got to reflect. So what plans stalled for you? What was it that stalled? It just went to a halt, and you got stuck. What is it that did that for you? Where did momentum drop? There might be certain times of the year where your momentum goes down. This is what Chris and I evaluate too very well, because there's times of the year you might be doing a campaign, and all of a sudden the whole team is on fire and everybody's hitting ranks. And then there's a certain period where that stops, and maybe people start falling off. I don't know. You gotta reflect on this. You guys gotta know your numbers. You gotta know your growth. You gotta know where your team is evolving. Okay. And what excuses showed up repeatedly for you? Because we all have them. None of us are perfect. We all have excuses. And you got to recognize these things, because if you want to evolve and go into 2026 with a different thought process, a better plan, and you want to evolve in your income, you really got to eliminate these excuses.
Hey, Tammy, just before you move on to the dig deeper, folks, my recommendation is come back to this video here, folks. This is a really good exercise. that the four questions Tammy just asked you, the four what, where, and what, and identify those things and take note of it. This is how you will grow. Just back to you,
Mhm.
Tammy.
Yeah. So when we're digging deeper in all of this, this is when you ask yourself why. Why? Okay, you identified, what the things are. Now why? Why? Is it lack of skill that you're having the challenges, whatever your setbacks were, whatever the excuses were? Is it lack of skill? And think about it. What skill would you like to get better at so that you can get to the next level? And we're going to talk about that after. So, lack of consistency. That's a big one for most people, you guys. Consistency, it's work, right? And we have to take time to be consistent at anything that we do. So, to be great at consistency, you need to be scheduled. If things are not scheduled, you tend to, especially women, I have to say that because I do the cooking in the house. I meal plan on Sunday because it helps me have a successful week. And if I don't get that done, I can get caught up in the kitchen, right? Because Chris, he wants to have that healthy lifestyle. I want that healthy lifestyle. In order to have that, we need to be more organized. So
Just for
it's
the
not
record,
just
I'm not
business, you guys.
expecting you to do all
No,
that.
no, I know that. But it's not just
Just
business,
to
you
make sure
guys.
people. Yeah, go back.
No,
Yeah.
it's not just business. Okay. Because if you're like as a woman, that's why I'm talking about me in my house, right? As a woman, if I'm organized and I get my meal planning done on Sunday, then I know that I can be consistent in building my business throughout the week. You know what your stuff is, you guys. I'm just kind of making an example. And no, Chris doesn't expect me to cook for him. There's sometimes that I'm in my office and he's bringing me meals. Often they're pre-cooked, but hey, he's bringing me the meals, right?
Yeah,
And so
we
it's
share the
team.
kitchen responsibilities. So,
Yeah,
but I
teamwork.
have to admit that Tammy does, I would say, most of the cooking and everything else. Just
But
want to
but
put
it's
that
teamwork,
for the
right?
record for the ladies listening. But
Yeah. But it's teamwork because Chris does a lot of things in the back end too, right? He's got his it's fun to work as a couple. It can be frustrating too because you got to find your place in all of this. For those of you who are building this as a couple, for those of you who are not building it as a couple, I mean you're just counting on yourself to build this, and you have to figure it out. But as a couple, when you're building it as a couple, you kind of say, well, you do this and I'll do this, and then we'll get more done. And that's how Chris and I work together. That's why we're so good together in building this because we know our place in a good way, of course, and it helps us both grow. It helps us both put efforts into it. Okay, so going back to why, digging deeper into the why, is it poor time management? And that has to do with scheduling too. Because if you schedule yourself and you don't waste a lot of time in the management stuff, and you focus on, especially if that's your goal to get to another level, you need to focus on the money making activities, right? So you have to really schedule that into your calendar. Okay, so start working on your calendar and make sure you have a time frame for this stuff, because I call them power hours. You guys, you do your thing. We do power hours. You do a power hour and all you do is that and you stay focused on that. Man, you can get a lot done in an hour. A lot. And then you have this hour to do something else. So that could probably help you with your scheduling as well. We could have a whole training just on that because I've done lots of trainings on that. Because when people tell me they don't have the time, I say, no, let's get the calendar out because I can show them that they've got plenty of time. It's just a lot of time wasted, right? And distractions. If you want to evolve, you need to find out what are those distractions, and go deep into that too, because Some of it is family related, and it's not because your family's distracting you. You have to have more time to build your business. So what can you do in that period? And I'm always talking on a woman's point of view, because I started building network marketing, single mom. So I would talk with my neighbors, and we'd trade kids. In other words, I would take their kids one weekend so they can do whatever they need to do, or vice versa. Never cost us anything for us, because everybody's like, oh, I don't have the money. I don't have the money. Well, figure it out, right? So what I would do is we would trade kids. So when I didn't have my kids, man, I packed my calendar with meetings. I packed my calendar with the most I can do to put efforts into my business. Ladies, I might be giving you some ideas here, and these are things that work for me. And so you got to find out what your distractions are. It could be cleaning. So if you made an extra $100 a week, what one of these distractions can you pay somebody else to do, so that you can get focused on building your business? Right? So these are all the things that are going to be helpful for you. Avoidance. Are you just avoiding it? And why? Why are you avoiding it? Often it's worthiness. It's, don't know how is just an excuse. I don't know how to do this. No, that's an excuse. So if you're avoiding that, it's because of the lack of skill, right? So you got to have confidence in developing yourself personally and your skills. And when that happens, you become a different person. If most of you don't know me when I started network marketing. So if Marie Paul, if you're there, you knew me, because we all started this journey over 25 years ago together. And who I am today is not who I was when I first started. I was extremely shy, you guys. You could not put me in front of a room. You could not put me in front of a mic. None of that. I was extremely shy. And and I lacked many skills. So I always say, if I can do it, anybody can do it, honestly. So fear is often or rejection. People don't like that. And the way you gotta show up in 2026, if you've not read the book Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, you need to do it. Okay? Because if that's what's holding you back, it is the best book I've ever read by Dr. Susan Jeffers. Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. That book blew my mind, because we create so much in our head that's not real. It's unbelievable, just to hold us back, to keep us safe. And it's not keeping you safe. It's keeping you from living your full life, right? And or rejection. People don't like to be rejected. Here's the truth. They're not rejecting you guys. They're not rejecting you. They just haven't seen enough value. They haven't seen enough information. Maybe the timing's not good for them. Stop taking it personally, because it's not your stuff, right? And there's plenty of people in the world to talk to. Plenty. So don't get caught up in that crap. It's going to eat you up, right? So, yeah. So those are all the things that you can really reflect on, so that you can show up as a different person in 2026.
So results don't lie, folks. Results don't lie. They reveal. If you don't like the results that you've been having, you have to go back and see what it is that you have been doing in line of what Timmy was sharing. That's what this call is all about here today. Now, part 3, we want to focus on the habit, the action, and decisions that produces results. So your results are a reflection of your daily behavior, not your intentions. Intentions is part of the process, but everybody has intentions, especially in January with the new year. But how many will actually take action? See, goals don't create income, they're part of the process. It's the action that do. Hope that makes sense here, folks. And the one thing that's really important, and that's why Tammy and I had great results in our business, is we really focus on systems. If people are system dependent opposed to people dependent, your business will not stop because someone is on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you is, we're moving into the holiday season, and we did our last presentation on last Wednesday. So are you going to just pack your bags and completely forget about God Backup for the next 2 weeks? Or are you going to be doing some activities? For example, go through the hundreds of presentations been recorded, pick one that you relate to, that you like, and identify that presentation if you're not doing some, and utilize that link to share when someone says, can you give me more information, but you're not in a position to present? Or will you be presenting? So remember, action do. System beats motivation every time. Motivation is important, but if you combine a system that people can plug into, and this is exactly what Joel is planning for January with the social media posting automation system that he's putting together, that could completely change everything for everyone massively. So one thing that's important is to identify the daily and weekly habits that work for you. Identify those. Maybe you've done some things for a short period of time that got you results, that got you to maybe Sapphire or even Emerald. Now what? Are you sitting back and say, well, let's wait for the people I brought in to do something? If you do that, you might not be happy with your results. You have to keep moving forward. You got to keep going on these habits to build up on that momentum. What action did you took that you feel didn't get you the results, right? Again, identify the things that you've been doing. Identify the things that you've done that got you results. Decision that maybe you've made that remove the friction of you of you moving forward. What decision did you make then that got you to take an active position? And the time that you chose discipline over emotion. What were the action? What did you do? What was the situation that got you to do it anyway? Like Tammy say, feel the fear, but do it anyway. The book written by Lisa Jimenez. I think it's wonderful.
No, it's Dr. Susan Jeffers.
Okay, so feel the fear, do it anyway. Is not Jimenez?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's Dr. Susan Jeffers. Yeah.
Got you. Okay, so the point here is I'm just referencing here, but the point is there will always be distractions. Okay, and I know I'm a movie buff. I love watching movies. That's a huge distraction for me. But if I focus on the goal, I can literally turn that off and do what I have to do and go back to it later. Because everybody's on either Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Apple TV, whatever. It's recorded. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, the new episode is up. It's okay. You can see it a year from now or next week or tomorrow or later on tonight. But the thing is, focus on your goal and do the activities that are important first, and then deal with the entertainment. And entertainment is important because you do need to relax and get off work a little bit. And that's understandable. But the fact is, choose the right discipline that are in line with your goal. One thing that's here, and I'm a big believer in that, is repetition. What you repeat, you reinforce. Once upon a time, I was a karate guy. I've reached my 3rd degree black belt when I was in my 20s. I used to compete all over the world, especially North America, but I went around the world, and that was really interesting. It's one of the reasons why I broke my nose a few times and I have these big bags on me. That's when it all started. The oxygen didn't go through the, yeah. So again, what I'm sharing here, folks, is there were some things that I've done. And in the karate business, why did I bring this up? It's because karate is a sport. It's all about repetition, 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 over and over. It is so boring. But eventually, when you repeat it often enough, your speed, your strength becomes unbelievable. I'm not kidding. And then when you compete and you apply the same techniques and you start winning your tournaments and people recognize you for that, it's a chain reaction. But how did it all start? These are just moments that I remember in my life. Repetition, repetition, building my network marketing business. It's about repeating, 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 repeating. It is freaking boring. I get it. I've been in this presentation 20 times. I don't need to go back. That is a bad approach, because the more you listen, the more you're absorbed. The more you're absorbed, the more it becomes part of you. The more it is part of you, the easier it is for you to share the information. Don't think about, I need to be entertained. Think about, I need to learn and evolve and get better. Show up for these things. That there is 4 people or 50 or 1,500, we show up, we present. We don't care. Of course, it's nicer to present to a bigger audience, but we will show up. Why is it that we're blue diamonds in his company and got back up and why is it that we've got these things? Because we are constantly showing up. Do the same. Show up. Don't just be a poser or someone that just show up, I'll do it this week or this month, and because, I have nothing else to do. Again, what do you want to achieve? Because what you repeat will be reinforced. That's the point of this part 3. Repetition. Repetition is the habit that will create the duplication within your organization. If people don't see you at the presentation because you're not commenting, you're always a ghost behind the scene, nobody knows you're there, your team doesn't know you're there. Well, unfortunately, again, people figure, oh, you're not there, I'm not going to show up next week. And your business doesn't grow. So what's going to happen throughout the holiday time? Are you planning for 2026? Are you learning? Are you going to be listening to some of those calls that we've done for the past 2.5 years? Or will you just be waiting in January to start again?
And are you going to talk to people through the holiday? What a perfect time. People are happy this time of year. And this is a great opportunity to have amazing conversations and even asking people questions about, what does 2026 look like for you? And get people dreaming, because a lot of people don't dream. They set goals, but they often, they don't achieve. So you can find out where people are at and ask them, do you have a plan? And, do you have a plan on adding another opportunity to be able to get that quicker? There's so many things that you can ask questions to move people without feeling like you're trying to sell somebody something, just creating some relativity. We all know 2026 is coming. I know us, we like to talk to people through all opportunities for us as we go through the holidays, right? And that's when you get more contacts, you get more links in people's hands. They may not join through December, but you're priming that pump, right, for January, because if you contact somebody, most likely they're going to say, hey, get back to me in January, because, things are happening for people. But they gave you the open to get back to them in January. So if you did this many, many, many times, imagine how many people you're going to be able to talk to first thing in January, first week of January. It's great. So I recommend to do this. So in part 4, I'm going back to those distractions, you guys, and the gaps and the inconsistencies that happen in building business, because we've been doing this for so many years, and we've had so many ups and downs, and we've learned we learned the best from our downs. So for us, it's not failure. It's a learning process. And then we realize, okay, well, I need to get better at this skills, or I need to eliminate that distraction, or whatever it is, or that excuse, or whatever it is. So, momentum doesn't die from failure, because we talk about, going into momentum constantly. It doesn't die from failure. It dies from inconsistency. And I think that's what happens in our profession. There's a campaign and you've got your gas on the pedal, okay, and everybody's rocking it. And then the campaign's over, everybody takes the gas off. They start slowly pushing the brake. And so it's to recognize all of this stuff. And it's good to do campaigns. It's good to have that push. And then you got to get the other people getting that push, right? So that's the key. So, what shiny objects are distracting you? The syndrome, because people have that shiny object syndrome. People start strong and they finish weak. Why? Why is something like that happening? Over planning and underdoing. Do you know anybody who's constantly planning but they don't actually start? There's lots of people out there that do that, and then it's finding a way to get the start, get it going. Small steps. If that's what it takes, take those small steps. Emotions. We always talk about emotions will run your calendar if you are allowing your emotions to. Okay, so you gotta pay attention to your emotions. We try to, Chris and I mean, it's like everybody, right? We work hard on staying focused on the goal, focus on the target, and that will create distractions from the emotional part of it, right? If we know we need to do this and we have to talk to so many people, we get real focused on that. So it's to recognize all of this stuff, all right? And your time. I can't say this enough. People have to earn your time, you guys. And so whatever time you're putting out there in 2026, you need to guard your time and put it towards, whether it's a team, if you're putting it towards a team, they need to earn your time, right? And so you need to schedule. When you're talking to prospects, get a feel. If you're constantly trying to convince people to do something, let it go, you guys. Let it go. There's people out there that are so hungry for opportunity. Go get those people. All right. So recognize all this stuff through the process. And distractions, I mean, it's there. Okay. And you got to recognize that. And move towards the goal, move towards the actions, and you'll see some tremendous results. And start now. So many people say, oh yeah, January 1st. No, start now. Start some good business habits, develop some skills now, recognize what's holding you back now, and start improving now. Don't wait for January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It starts now. So, yeah.
Sorry, Tammy, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, the best representation. So you guys, I like to think of things in images because I retain it. Think of you in Daytona Beach.
I can't wait.
And you're swimming back to shore, okay? And there's a wave coming in and you're getting a little tired and you want to catch the wave to get to shore faster. But if you're not aware that the wave is coming, it'll pass right by. It'll pass you right by. So it's important that you stay focused and be aware of your surrounding. An example of this is the wave is coming. Oh, I'm about to catch this. Oh, there's a got back up event that's about to come in. Let's make sure my team is there. Do you understand my analogy here? Instead of reacting in the new year and start there, start prior. A few times, some of you have talked about 11 days to December, start with Mary Paul. So the fact here, folks, is that's 11 days. That's a lot. It's almost half a month if you think about it. Plenty of time. So throughout the holiday days, folks, I guarantee you'll be talking to people at some point. And to talk about a cloud storage for 6 terabytes for the price of two, or utilizing a whole package just for $10 a month more, which, folks, I know it's a lot more expensive than that. If you buy even one of those items with third-party companies, for $20 a month, you got, excuse me, the pro package. Okay. I need to drink more water. 1 second. Sometimes when you take the supplement and you don't drink enough water, it's stuck in your throat. So what's happening here, folks, is clarity is so important. And what I mean by clarity is setting clear income producing goals. See, clarity will create confidence, as I stated at the beginning of this call. Vagueness creates frustration.
Yeah.
And I know that there were some of you here at the beginning of the call mentioning that you're having a hard time with your campaign. Who can you talk to? Well, that's why we have these training calls on Saturday. You know, to talk to individual one-on-one, it should be your upline. Okay? Because there is time involved, and one call is not going to cut it. It has to be a series of follow-up calls to get you the results. The reason why we do our Saturday calls is because we can reach everybody that way, and the information is there, and you can go back. 90-day campaigns. Just go back to those 30 days campaigns or 60-day campaigns. Go back in time and see what we've done.
Yeah, our success cycle series, you guys, is really good. There's a segment on prospecting, and we teach you some of the things that you can say when you're connecting with people, and the links to use. Right? I think it's a little bit older. I think we did it at the beginning of last year. Maybe we'll start the success cycle series over again this year, because everything evolves. There's new links. There's new this.
So this year. Mm-hmm. Right. This here is the, for those of you that are new, I'm just going to post it in the chat here. Okay. This is the GVO YouTube channel. And there's a playlist here. And in the playlist, they are, for example, the Success Cycle series. These are great modules. Mm-hmm. I understand it's 2 years and so forth, but folks, these principles are like constants. Constant doesn't change, even though it's been 4 billion years. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Okay. So the fact here is these are information that can help you. Let's go back. And there's another one here that I think is important, is the Saturday trainings. If you go here, okay, we have all of the trainings that we've been hosting. Sometimes there were also events that were placed on the Saturday. I keep them in here. But there's a lot of back office trainings, compensation plan summaries. If I go back in time, we're going to go back. Here we go. How to recruit 10 new resellers in 30 days. Part 1, part 2, part 3. I mean, there's a lot of information here. There's absolutely nothing missing. So again, it's just a reference in line of that. So back to my point is create clarity in your goal, in your goals. So, if you look at hope, the hope goal versus the outcome goal. So it's wonderful to hope, okay? And that's where it begins. But what will take you a step further is have an outcome, an actual destination that you can visualize getting there. Have a clear understanding. If you go to your car and you wake up in the morning, I assure you, you're not going to wake up, take a shower, dress up, and put everything, in line for you to get your day started and get in your car having no freaking idea why you did that. There's a reason why you did that. Because there's a particular goal for you to do today, to a destination you need to reach. So that's why you did all the prep work. You understand my meaning here? So treat your business as such. It's okay to hope, folks, but have a clear destination in your goals. And the thing is, there's also activity goals versus the income goals. A lot of people do a lot of work. I'm not getting results. Nobody's signing up. Nobody's doing this. Nobody's doing that. Why? Maybe you need to brush up on your skills. Maybe how you communicate or what you say or what you share, people can relate to. So just keep trying to change a little bit, add a few little tweaks until one person liked whatever you posted, or someone commented on what you posted, or someone checked your site. On Gut Backup, you can check if people are going to your affiliate links. You can check if people are clicking on it. It's there. So back to the activity goals and income goals is create an income goal opposed to just activity goal. Well, I'm going to be doing that many calls. I'm going to be that many. That's great because these are the activities. But attach that with an income goal. Establish clarity. Vagueness creates frustration. And that's why often people blame God Backup or whatever they're doing because the results are not showing, forgetting that who's doing the activities? Not God Backup, you. So it's important that we look at each other. So sometimes when I see folks, well, that's just not working, I'm quitting. Okay, sure, whatever. But at the end of the day, and I don't need to be rude here. I'm being completely clear, completely transparent with you. Are you blaming the tool and overlooking what you've done or the lack of? So be clear, be honest with yourself. Otherwise, nothing will change for you. This is how I speak to people I work with here, folks. There's a reason why Tammy and I tend to be associated to high income producers. I'm very clear, very specific, very direct. And you'll find that a lot of leaders that are very wealthy or very successful, forget about the wealth, successful in whatever endeavor, whatever they try to do, they're very clear and they don't sugarcoat. They're very specific. That's what we want to pass on to you. So what is your primary income goal? I suggest, as I mentioned earlier, come back to this training and pause it and take the time. What is your primary income goal? What is the one skill base goal that you should be focusing on to improve? Is it presenting? Is it doing lives? Is it understanding the comp plan? Is it be able to explain the product? Be able to use the product? Right? Some people have a hard time moving a mouse around. I'm not kidding here, folks. Work on your skills. Don't just expect someone else to do it for you. Someone can help you, but learn from that and evolve. Right? Is consistency-based goal. Do you plan to be consistent in 2026, or just be a leaf in the wind? That's right. I was trying to say two words in one word. Being a leaf in the wind. Just go with the flow, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Be specific. Maybe for some of you, it might be a little bit intense, but again, use the level of intensity you want. I'm just trying to be clear and specific on what you need to do to reach a target. Folks, I'm very goal-oriented, and we tend to reach wonderful things, but there's a reason for that. I'm very clear what I'm trying to do, and I want to try to transcend that to you as we share here, right? What about personal growth? Personal growth is very important. Because if you don't evolve and grow, it'll be difficult for you to bring a CEO into your God Backup business. Okay? So as you evolve, you grow. As you do, you grow. As you attempt to do things and you fail, you grow. It's all part of the process. So the thing here that's important is set up goals, but don't undermine the execution to get to those goals. There's a training that we've done years ago that it started with your dreams. You plan, you list all your dreams. And once you have your dreams, then you start focusing, you circle the ones that are most important to you. From that point on, you identify the goals to get to those dreams. And then you go back to the tasks. What are tasks that you need to do to achieve those goals? And then you can break that down to the steps. What are the steps that you need to do? Wake up in the morning. Tammy and I, we wake up in the morning. First thing we do is we'll take our supplements and then we'll go to the gym. Why? Because I'm hitting 60 in January. Tammy's already there. And the fact
you're feeling 30. Hello.
My wife looks younger than the point here is we train. Why? Because if we don't train, we know that as we age, our bones, our muscles, everything changes. I want to stay fit. I want to be in my 70s, and if I want to ski, I can ski. If I want to run, I can run. If I want to do kayaking or scuba diving, I can do these things. I have the time now. I got the money, right? I don't want to be halfway through the hospital and, halfway to the grave because I didn't take care of myself. So the fact here is goals are good. It's important, but break it down and execute on those goals. Right. So one thing, folks, is simplicity. Keep things simple. People don't like complicated. And have a direction and focus on that direction. I know, Tammy, we're down to 5 minutes before we're at the top of the hour. So
I know, there's
we have
so much
two more
to
points.
go through.
I know. So let's go into 6, creating a simple improvement plan here.
Yeah. So the key is not to repeat 2025 because, well, we're still in 2025, but the goal is obviously to evolve in 2026. And that's why we want you to do the reflection and to have that reset and create your plan so that you can execute. Okay. And so please take the time to do that. And so you want to talk about obviously what worked in 2025, because if something was really working for you, if there was a specific campaign or something worked for you, that maybe the type of people that you're attracting in your environment, if social media was really working for you, then that's where you need to focus on is what's working. And then what are some other things that you can get better at as well. Always growing, you guys. If there's anything that Chris and I, have done very, very well in the years that we've been doing this business is growing, personal growth. All right. And action growth too. And setting goals and achieving. We've done that over and over and over and over again because we get focused on what we need to do. But if we don't plan it and in our schedules, we're not focused on organization and scheduling, then we get off track. We're human beings, right? So we can get off track too. So we need to have that certain structure so that we stay on track. And at the same time, you guys, it's not about living in the hustle. All right. Because I know some people, they think, I don't want to do what you guys do, but we live too. We have a lifestyle that, we automated so many things, systems and stuff that we don't have to work as hard as we used to. Maybe at the beginning we had to hustle because we were new and growing. But as you start automating and having systems working for you, the system's there, you guys, you just got to use it. Right? You got the system on the boards, you've got our training systems, you've got everything. Everything's handed to you. You just got to do it and get your team members system dependent, not you dependent, and have them learning and growing. Spend your time with the people who are moving forward. Okay. If people are making excuses, obviously you got to find out where they're at, what's holding them back, all of that stuff, because it could be a little tweak and they could be your diamond in the rough. You don't know until you spend time with them. But they could be that person that, they're just go with the flow life. We know people like that. And that's okay. It's what they love, right? And if they're happy in that space, you need to move forward and find somebody who's got what it takes and that's willing to do the work. And that's simple. Okay? That's what you're looking for if you want to evolve in growing your business. And there's so many things. And we want you to enjoy the process. I know I'm not following the full guideline here. I just wanted to speak from my heart to you guys. It's have fun with it. If you're not having fun, then you're not going to move forward, enjoy the process. Okay, have fun with it. And create ease with it. Even if it's a difficult thing for you to prospect people, find something that's going to create ease. You guys, you know what? This button here, if you don't have one, you so need one.
That was easy.
I love this. When I had the most difficult time talking
to
people, I don't know. Let's see.
No,
Oh, wait.
That was easy.
That was
we need to
easy.
change the
So
battery.
I
Mine
used
is in Florida.
Yeah. So we have one in Florida, we have one here, and there's those days that you don't want to do something and just press that button a few times. That was easy. That was
That was
easy. That
easy.
was easy. That's the motivation for me. That was easy. And then I get contacting people. And every time you do it, you keep pressing that button. It could be something that you're telling yourself. You got to find that motivation within, and not always look for external, but find that motivation within. But sometimes you just need that.
Yeah. So we're on the top of the hour here, folks. One thing that's important, if you like this training, folks, hit the like button.
Mm-hmm.
Just smash that button. Let the algorithm of GVO tell YouTube that this is a training that can help a lot of folks. And I truly believe that it can, especially in your team. We want to help you grow 2026. So the fact is 2025, if you didn't get any results, folks, it is not a waste of time.
No.
It was a training. It was a learning process. There is no shame, no regrets, right? You took responsibility of the opportunity, and you need to acknowledge that. Let's build stronger, more intentional in 2026. And let's work together, folks. We are all connected on this beautiful world. As much as we think that the neighbor doesn't matter, it's not our affair, it's not our business, we certainly do. We're all connected, more than you realize. And in this compensation plan, the more of you do, the better the company does. The better the company does, the more value each cycles get. Do you understand how connected we are? Everybody matters. Because if everybody does better, the company pays more to each and every one of you. Do you understand the power of what this plan represents? It's a brilliant compensation plan. I absolutely love it. So in closure, folks, I think it's important to finish this call with what Tammy was just sharing is enjoy the process. I know it's easier said than done sometimes, but folks, it's a wonderful opportunity. And if you have a great culture within your organization, within your teams, you will find that business is fun and the income will equally reflect that fun, which you can live the fruit from your labor. So we hope that you appreciate this training. Pass it down to your downline. Let them know what we have available to get them started. If you have a hard time getting a response from God Backup, let me give you a clue. It's very possible that they've already responded back to you, but you need to log in. I'm going to do this just to show you.
Oh, it's support.
Just to show you. So I'm going to log in here. First of all, I'm going to, sorry, not this. I'm going to log in with this.
And maybe I can add one more thing while you're doing that, Chris. The pro. To become a pro, you need to show up as a pro and become a pro member. If you're not a pro member yet, and you're already an existing member, then upgrade.
Yeah.
$10 more a month to invest in yourself, learn some tools that can generate more leads for you. And yeah, since we've been pro members, we've been learning these tools and seeing how it's generating leads. So you got to invest in yourself.
So if you click on the support over here, okay, you will find that it will take you to this page that I've never have any support. One is I do have a relationship with the owners and I speak with them regularly, but the fact here, the tickets will show over here, and it's very possible that you have a response here and there's a number that you haven't responded to, and that's why this is. So please go there before you do anything, because it's very possible that the question to your answer might be resting here. Okay.
And in the comments, you guys, put one thing that was an aha moment for you today, something that just clicked for you.
Even after the call is done, folks.
Yes.
Just go into the comment segment and put one thing that was an aha moment for you from this session, because others may relate to that one thing that you may share. So you may help others by recognizing what maybe they didn't recognize at the time, but by listening to your comments is, oh my God, yeah, I felt like that too. So listen, folks, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful Merry Christmas if you're celebrating Christmas. If not, have a happy holiday. We want everybody to have a wonderful time in the next 2 weeks. The reason there's no call on the Wednesdays because next Wednesday is Christmas Eve. And the reason there's no call on the following Wednesday on New Year's Eve is because happens to be on Wednesday also New Year's Eve. But
Yeah,
folks,
and we're taking time with our family through the holidays. As most of you know, we live 5 months in Daytona Beach, Florida. We're going to our condo there, and our family's
you'll see
here.
a different background.
Our
That's all.
family's here, so we want to spend some quality time with our kids, our grandkids, and just make a fun finish of 2025. We set goals and stuff with our kids too, so it's a lot of fun. We like to see our kids evolve constantly.
So plan, do, review, folks. Plan,
Yes.
do, review. Plan, do, review. Plan, do, review. That's what the rich, successful people do in their time. Have a great, great rest of your weekend. And again, happy holidays. Please be safe. We want to see everybody back in next year. We'll be sending some emails, WhatsApp messages. If you're part of our board, you'll have notification. We'll let you know when the next calls, the next things are going to take place. Okay? Stay plugged in. Have a great one. Stay safe and enjoy your time. Bye for now.
Have an amazing holiday. Bye, guys.